As the war with Iran continues, the State Department is scrambling to help tens of thousands of stranded Americans whose efforts to leave the region have been impeded by flight cancellations and airstrikes. Our Marcus Moore reports from Qatar tonight.
You can hear the siren behind me.
Amidst the hail of drone strikes and the wail of sirens, Alyssa Ramos is desperately seeking a way out of Kuwait.
We're doing everything we can to get a land border crossing out of here because the missiles and drones keep attacking.
The American travel expert seeing smoke and watching missile interceptors from her hotel window. She's been documenting this new war since her arrival while simultaneously looking for an escape route.
We are finally evacuating Kuwait on our own terms by land. The government has not helped us at all.
The Kuwait airport shut down after a drone strike. Stories like hers adding increasing pressure to get the government to help.
We have seen the government's post today telling all Americans to evacuate on their own. I can hear the missiles overhead already.
U.S. embassies and consulates coming under attack and Americans stranded across the region.
But escaping has not been easy.
Even cruise ships in the region are forced to wait out the conflict for now. Traveling home from a business trip in India, Ryan Blackman was on the last leg of his journey home to Dallas when he realized his flight was being diverted.
Saw some breaking news that Iranian airspace would be restricted. My initial reaction was probably land, refuel, find a different route, maybe head west, and then 4 or 5 days later, still in Doha.
With few choices, he says staying put seems the safest option for him.
What have you done to try to find a way out?
Right now, what I've heard is there are individuals that are taking buses or ground transportation to Riyadh or other locations in the region, or kind of sitting tight in Doha is kind of one of two options. My current feeling is I feel safe in Doha.
In the Oval Office, the president faced with tough questions.
Why wasn't there an evacuation plan, and will you send planes to get people out?
Well, because it happened all very quickly.
Not long after that back and forth, the State Department announced it was looking at military aircraft and chartered flights for Americans trapped in the Middle East.
It all starts by knowing that where you are and how we can get a hold of you.
The White House later seeming to place blame on the Americans who are still stranded in the region.
The Secretary of State issued level 4 travel advisories dating back to January for many of these countries in the region. Again, I just laid out for you that there have been plans in place and that the State Department has been very clear to the American people traveling within this region not to travel to these regions. We gave notices to leave immediately.
So far, the government says 17,500 Americans have returned from the region, with at least 14 countries now caught in the crosshairs. Many more Americans are left to get out, mostly on their own. This map showing the blackout of air travel, with airstrikes the biggest concern.
I had the best trip of my life before the worst trip of my life.
On his way home from a wedding in India, Oliver Sims changed planes in Doha, Qatar. The connection and takeoff seemed to go smoothly enough.
An hour and a half into the flight, I got a notification that said that the U.S. And Israel had started airstrikes on Iran. We had to turn back around to go to Doha. I think it was 12:30 in the morning. A bunch of airport staff rushed into the lounge and they told us to evacuate the airport. People had started reporting that the Kuwait's airport and Dubai's airport were getting hit.
Dramatic videos posted online show the explosions and rocket intercepts inside Qatar and over its skies.
So I'm just constantly in a state of fear, and any type of noise or thud that I hear, I'm like, is that an explosion? Is that a missile?
Some travelers got creative in attempts to leave the region. Our Brett Clinton spoke with one American who was desperatly trying to get home to Nashville, Tennessee to her children via Hong Kong.
Okay, and you just came in from Dubai, the first flight in several days from Dubai. How do you feel right now?
So relieved.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It must have been quite an ordeal for you.
Just something you never think you're going to see.
You obviously contacted the embassy. Did you get any help?
Zero help. Zero help from the embassy. Got prayer beads.
Alyssa and her friends were able to hire a car and drive to Saudi Arabia.
We made it! We are passing the Riyadh airport. I'm not feeling super confident about this flight taking off. The airport's pretty empty.
After days of waiting, Alyssa eventually made it to Egypt, where she is one step closer to safety. The gravity of the war in this moment is not lost on Ryan in Doha.
It's very easy for us to be comfortable at home and take for granted many of the things that we can take for granted at home. And I think being thrust into the middle of a situation like this certainly gives you a heightened sense of awareness of just how much is happening outside of your space.
And while Ryan waits for safe passage home from Doha, his thoughts are with his wife and children.
What is that moment going to be like when you see your wife and those little kiddos?
It's going to feel good. Yeah, it's going to feel good. Yeah, I think you might have hit a little bit of an emotional chord with me, because I probably put that a little bit in the back of my head, but it'll certainly feel good.